Well, I chose the movie Crash, and it takes place in LA and shows seven different stories of the lives of people of different social classes, races, nationalities, skin color, etc. And well, the film begins by showing a car crash between a Latina and an Asian woman, and then shows the facts from the day before, um, where an Iranian immigrant that seeks to buy a weapon to defend his shop, two young black men who assault a couple to steal their truck, a Mexican locksmith who suffers from discrimination at work, two police officers who traffic stop a couple and humiliates them, among others. And while these stories are developing, racism and prejudice are very present, as well as issues of insecurity, violence, and human trafficking, which are problems that abound today and which many of us not notice. At the end of the film, the characters' lives end up relating to each other. For example, one of the policemen kills one of those who stole the van, and the murdered boy ends up being the detective's brother, and the other policeman saves the woman who he humiliated before from a car accident, and the Iranian shoots the locksmith's daughter. Locksmith's daughter. There were a lot of characters, but some of them were Graham Waters, who is a racially insensitive police detective who has a relationship with Ria, his partner. Officer John Ryan is a racist cop who molests Christine Thayer during a traffic stop and later saves her life. Jean Cabot, who is a rich white lady and the wife of a corrupted fiscal and whose car was stolen. She also gets mad about everything. And Officer Tom Hansen, he used to be the partner of Officer John Ryan, but after seeing his behavior at the traffic stop, he requested a different partner. The film shows the cultural diversity that exists in the United States due to migration and how people of other nationalities and races are discriminated against, as well as the prejudices and stereotypes that they have about them, some of which are the next that I'm going to mention. Latinos are criminals, Muslims are terrorists, African American are not capable enough to do certain jobs or are criminals, all Latinos are Mexican, and so on. In the movie, you also see problems such as the traffic of people, and I think this film shows the reality of the type of situations that immigrants face every day while in another country and while they are in another country, and how difficult it is for them to have a good quality of life. What I enjoyed the most about the movie is how realistic it was and how well it reflected the situation in which immigrants live, as well as the most common stereotypes. It also shows the humanity in people, for example, when the police officer saved the woman risking his own life, or the man who feels relieved for shooting the little girl, or the wife of the fiscal who feels very lonely, it doesn't have her only friend is her maid. And what I didn't like much about the movie was that there were so many stories and they were very entangled, and at times it was difficult for me to understand it, and I would have liked to know a little bit more about each character's lives. And well, I learned many things watching this movie. One of them is that I realized the terrible situation in which thousands of immigrants live and the problems they face every day. And another of the things I learned was that in the United States there is a lot of cultural diversity and too much racism, much more than in other countries. I also realized the amount of stereotypes that there are, and that many times we contribute to them without realizing it. And in the future, these stereotypes can end up causing a lot of damage. The most important thing I learned from the movie was that we should all get to know people without taking into account their race, social status, religion, and treat them with respect that any human being deserves.